Welcome to today's video on what we believe, and we're talking about education. Education is the most important part of who we are as Christians. It is the teaching of others to be disciples of Christ. And so what we want to do is we want to help them to know God, and then we want to help them in how they can obey God after they come to know God. And so as a process of education, we lean highly on Bible studies that occur each week from our church and from what we believe concerning the Bible. These Bible studies lead us in particular studies that either give us a topic to study through the text of the Bible, or give us a book of the Bible to study so that we can study that in small groups. In those small groups that we call Bible studies, people are able to get in and they're able to share their heart, they're able to share what they're thinking, what they're going through, and then they're able to take the Bible and make application to that so that they will be educated from the standpoint of who God is and what He expects of us as His children. That education is huge. That education means so much to every child of God. That education is what allows us the opportunity to see people grow in their faith, and as they grow in their faith, then they can have families and teach their families to grow in the faith. And so it becomes a teaching process that is family-based, that is spread to all ages, from the youngest to the oldest. I know this is hard for you to understand, but we educate the smallest child, newborn child, by having something like a mobile with them in their crib, or having Christian music that is going on, or singing them Christian songs that they can hear, so that they can learn just from their environment that there's somebody that loves them unconditionally. That starts from the youngest of age and goes to the oldest age within our fellowship. And as a result of that, then our people are being educated from birth to death about all that the Bible has to say about life. I remember trying to live life without the Bible. When I first came to Christ, I opened up the Bible and started reading it, and I've never stopped. In all these years, I've never stopped reading the Bible, because the Bible is so important for us to be able to learn and to experience. And God's Spirit opens it up and enlightens us, and that's what education really does. Enlightens us to the point of being able to understand what we need to be doing for God on a daily basis. That education is of primary importance throughout any group of Christians. Education is the heart of who we are. Education is the center of what transpires from the individual to the family of God that we call the church. And so that's what we believe. That education coming from the instruction of Jesus, teaching all men everywhere that there is a Christ, that there is a God, there is a Holy Spirit that can make a difference in each individual's life. That education develops us to be the disciples that we should be. And here's a key thing about disciples. Disciples not only learn from their mentor, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, through the Scriptures, but we also learn from experience. And in the experiences that we have, and with the Lord being our mentor or director, we learn then about the very most important things of life. And through that educational process, we learn then to live our lives based on who Christ is in us through His Word. I believe in education. I believe in all kinds of education. But I believe that biblical education is the most important for families and for individuals for today. One of the key problems of today is the breakdown of the family. It is the breakdown where we don't have mothers and fathers staying together. We don't have fathers for some children. We don't have mothers for some children. We don't have the entire family unit for some families. And as a result of that, they're trying to get by on what they have. And it's not easy. It's a tough world out there. It's tough. But I want you to know that through the family and the family of God, we can learn together, and we can learn to be the people of God that He wants us to be. So, when it comes to education, It's top on the priority list. Right now during COVID-19, it is difficult. We're using Zoom, and we're using Zoom for many ways for our students. We're using it for some of our adult classes, and it's a wonderful way to be able to communicate, but it's not the same as being together in Bible study and learning together. So we look forward to those days in the near future when we will be able to get back together in those small groups, in small areas, so that we can grow through the educational process as children of God. Thanks for listening. Hope it's been helpful to you to know what we believe about education through the Scriptures for the church. Thanks. If you'd like to know more about the video that you've watched today, I want to encourage you to go online. Right below is an inscription and a link to take you right to the Baptist Faith and Message. And the Baptist Faith and Message will give you these subjects that I'm sharing with you, but it will also give you a long list of scriptures that you can look up and decide for yourself if this is really what you want to believe. And I want to encourage you to do that. I want to encourage you to take the time to do that. I think it'll be worth your while. And I thank you for listening today.